Hi everyone, Scrappy Kathy here with Mixed Media Mayhem. And while I'm doing this page, I'm also going to be doing Challenge 5 at Mind the Scraps CyberCrop that was last weekend. And the prompt for that challenge, without giving away too much, is called Watch It Grow. So I'm doing a gardening photo of myself with a tomato that I'm pretty sure that I did not grow. I'm thinking that my dad grew it, but he was managing editor of the newspaper, and these were some champion-sized tomatoes. And so he had the photographer come out, and this was in this photo was published in the paper. And I was, I think, 3, maybe 4. So a while back. It was, I think, 1950 was the date I saw on the back of this. So during summer of 1950, I'd have been 3.5, almost, going to be turning 4 in December. So that's the photo I'm going to use. It's black and white. I'm going to use a color scheme that's dictated by these scraps that I cut from, that kind of rainbow arch in, I believe that was Color Study. And I think my current plan is, I believe I'm going to arrange it like this, as if it's just, as if it's sun rays. That's not exactly what you get when you look at this, but I'm going to try to make you think of that. So I'm going to arrange them on here, and then I'm going to mark where they will fall, so I'll know where to start my mixed media. I'm going to have, I have selected colors of Distress Oxide inks to drip down. We'll see how that works out for me. So I'm gonna start with the green, or with the yellow, and I'm gonna just kind of rub it on here. I may opt for that. This seems brighter, but it's not, it's got too much orange in it. So let's go with this. I'm gonna put a fair amount of it on there. And then, this is mustard seed. Oh, I didn't give you the recipe for Mixed Media Mayhem. It's leaves, washi, and ink. So right now I'm doing the ink part. And I have die cut some leaves, and I have some leaves that are rub-ons. Okay, so I'm gonna do that, and then I'm gonna really quickly do this and let it drip down. And I know that's making a mess, and I will pull some. Okay, and I also need to, I'm gonna color my alphas. These are a Vicky Bouton alpha, and I'm gonna color the alphas kind of also with this ink. I'm just kind of blotting some up, and I'm going to do the bottom In yellow, I'm gonna take each color and go up the letter. Okay, so that's the yellow. Now, I'm gonna take that same, where is it? Where is my handling too many things, and I don't know what I did with, so I'll use something else. That was actually the perfect size. I don't want anything this wide. Well, what the heck. I'm gonna go for it, and it is what it is. I'll do it just down a narrow path there, and I'm gonna do this, and I'll turn it over and start it. Okay, and I'll do that. Oops, and I've got a little bit of stray ink that ended up over here, and that's okay. All right, now, I laid that down the wrong way. It's hard to tell which side is facing up. So that green kind of looks a lot different from the yellow. Shape and size and texture and everything. So now I'm gonna do this is pine needles, and it's a bluish green. That should match up pretty well to that third little sun ray that we got going on there. So I'm gonna go up here. There, okay, that's okay. And I hope I didn't put that down the wrong way. You know what I forgot to do was color, I'm just gonna stick that right there for now, was color the rest of my alpha. Kind of blend some of this green in. Okay, and now I'm gonna go for this blue-green up at the top. Okay, and I'm gonna let that dry, and I'm gonna go over this with a paper towel. Oh, okay, that's interesting. The yellow appears to be kind of pretty close to dry. So let me do that there. And I'm going to do some splatters before I put enough. let this go unopened for long enough that it's really hard. Okay, and this should be a little bit different color of yellow. And I'm going to do a lot on the yellow, but I'm also going to do a few over on the other colors. A few yellow splatters. Okay, now I'm going to take this shimmer spray in the lime green, and I'm going to splatter heavily on the green part. And what's good about splattering the inks, the oxide inks are water reactive, and these are water based, so they will produce kind of a reaction, if you will. Now, I'm not sure I have a color that's the right color. Let's see, what is that? That one is called Calypso Teal. Let me see if I have an open bottle of it. This is Vibrant Turquoise, and I'm pretty sure that's not what I'm looking for. I don't see, it would have been good for me to look for these ahead of time. I'm gonna open this one fresh. Hopefully that doesn't take too much video time. I'm having some issues, but I guess on the upside, this is drying. I don't know that this Calypso Teal is really gonna be the right color. But I'm gonna use it anyway. Okay, so we've got those down, and I'm gonna dry that off a bit. Okay, now let's put these on. Let me get them straight here. I may have to come down a little bit. Okay. I'll put the green one on first. And I know it may not stick if it hits too much of the oxide inks, because it's kind of powdery. But I will, if I find at the end of all of this it's not sticking. And then I'll go back with some liquid glue, but I'm not going to bother with that right now. It seems to be sticking. Let me get that. Okay, it kind of looks goofy, if I'm honest. I'm gonna put this here partly because, you know, I had kind of thought of that placement anyway, but more because there's kind of this empty spot where I placed these is not perfect. So here's where the washi tape comes in. Because the titles grow and because we're talking about giant tomatoes, I think measuring tape is kind of an apt symbol. And I'm gonna use several pieces of it. Kind of like that to form a base for this. And I'll do it right there. And I have some leaf sprigs that I cut out of a gel print that I made for a challenge last week. I think I'm going to go ahead and have these both on the same side. Maybe one pointing up and the other pointing down. And with the little twirly things there, it kind of looks a little like tomato vines, right? That was my that was my thought there for a minute. Okay, and I have these little garden related rub-ons. So I'm going to cut one of the little signs, and I'm gonna put it here and it'll end up under or just peeking out from the leaf sprigs. So I'm gonna just kind of put it right there, and let's see if I can rub that off. I don't know if it's gonna work, but under the leaf sprigs, if it's not perfect, that's kind of okay. Okay, so it looks a little bit broken off there, but that's all right. And there's one that's got little gardening gloves. And one that is a watering can. And I think I'm going to use those there, but let me first get these glued in, and I'll determine whether I need any others. Okay, and that's perfect. It's tucked, it shows very plainly, and yet it's kind of tucked in. It looks like it's part of the same. The reason for tucking and having things adjacent to one another so that they touch is so that they all look like part of the same embellishment cluster. Okay, now I have this guy, which could go, let me see if these, maybe have those there and this here with maybe another leaf cluster there, like so, or I need one pointing down. How about that one pointing down, and then this kind of tucked under it. So I'll do that. I will, the way it's placed there, a couple of the drops would be on the photo, and that's okay. That might be kind of cute. We'll see if it works though. I want 2 up on the photo and 1 down on the page. And the water can, of course, looks like it's splitting apart just like this sign did, but that is okay. I can kind of call it an effect. Let's call it an effect. And we'll make it seem like it was intentional. Now, I'm going to put this on like that so that it kind of brings that into the cluster. And now I have to do the gloves. These rub-ons are 1,000,000 years old. They are probably the first rub-ons I ever had. And I don't have any idea where I got them. They may have been part of a stash that I got from my former daughter-in-law, Nikki, whose mom had passed away, and she had been a scrapbooker, and she had all these supplies, and she offered them to me. Okay, I want that to stick down. Okay, there. That works just fine. Now, I don't know about you, but these things kind of look like they're stranded up there. I'm wondering if I could adorn them with these vines. Like, this one is kind of cut off here, so I'll trim it down to the leaf. But I could do something like that. Maybe have it not be going straight across the page, but let's see how that works. I'm just going to commit to it, and these are pretty much rubbing off fairly easily, and I can see them change color, so I know they've stuck. I know that there aren't usually vines growing on sun rays, but you know, as long as we're being fanciful, who says that couldn't happen? Okay. Let's get that back down there. I can tell this one needs a little more encouragement. And I'll get that onto the page. I spoke too soon saying they were sticking down easily. This is the most trouble I've had with one of those. But it's also kind of long, and okay, so I'm thinking that's okay. Let me add, just for the hell of it, a little dragonfly. Maybe right there. Whoops. And over here on the sign. I'm not going to put any words on the sign. I could go hunting for a small word strip that said something appropriate, but let's see. I'm going to do a B. And I might do that. I'm just going to put it there for the moment. And I'm going to get a tiny little ladybug. There is also a butterfly, but I will save that for another time. I'm going to put the ladybug because the color contrasts so well. I'm going to put it over here by the watering can. And it should stand out amongst all that green. Okay, there. And then why not leave the bee exactly where it is? Whoops. I tell you what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw his missing antenna, and I guess what else is his wing. Okay. Nobody will be any wiser to that. Okay, I think I'm going to call it done. Let's see if I've met all the requirements. I have drippy paint for one of the prompts for the Mind the Scrap, and I have a photo of a childhood gardening exploit. I don't have my title on there. Here, I went to trouble of coloring it, and then I didn't put it on. It is going to be, it's chipboard, so do I want it there or closer up here? Maybe there. I don't want to cover that pretty mixed media. I'm covering some here too, but I love these alphas that take paint and ink and color up nicely. So I will probably add a little journaling once I determine the exact date of that. And I think somewhere I have the newspaper article. I have this stamp out because I was going to maybe go back and hit each of the stamp pads with this and then do some tone-on-tone stamping. But I think the splatters are enough. So I will do that. Now, the recipe for Mixed Media Mayhem, leaves, we certainly have leaves all around. Washi, which is the measuring tape, and there's ink floating all over the page. So thank you for watching, and I hope you're inspired to get out and get messy this weekend. And if you do it on Sunday, in the US, it'll be a messy Mother's Day, and I'm thinking that's about one of the best kinds of Mother's Day anyone could have. So I'll see you tomorrow or later today with today's load prompt. But this is for Mixed Media Mayhem, and then I will also put it in Mind the Scraps private group for our little CyberCrop that we had. That was wonderful, and that I didn't do nearly enough of the challenges. So I like how the gel print and these drippy things kind of go with the painty, mixed media looking papers in that sunray, or whatever we're calling it. And I need to line these up a little bit better so that the word is not slanting down. Thank you for watching. Bye.